We often report on major calamities around the world: earthquakes in Haiti, volcanic eruptions in Indonesia, tidal waves in Thailand. But what about here? What was our worst natural disaster?
Well, the big San Francisco earthquake of 1989 certainly comes to mind, but nothing measures up to what happened in Alaska in 1964. It was Good Friday. A quake lasting nearly 5 minutes hit south central Alaska. It still ranks as the most powerful earthquake ever recorded in the U.S. And at magnitude 9.2, the second largest recorded earthquake in the history of the world. And it happened in 1964. It started out as just an ordinary Good Friday. Up in Alaska, there was still a lot of winter snow on the ground, not unusual this far north. And then the unthinkable happened.
Suddenly, the whole harbor at Valdez begins to empty. Drains almost dry.
At the port of Valdez, one of two crewmen aboard a docked freighter grabbed his film camera and just started shooting. Now, keep in mind, this was in a time when few people carried portable cameras, not like today when virtually everyone has a digital camera. The two men immediately sensed they were staring down certain death. They watched with dread as a huge tsunami was forming out at sea. The wave, 5 stories high, roared toward them. A roiling, menacing, thunderous calamity in the making. What can you do at a time like this except brace for the impact and pray?
It crosses the Chena high, smashes it down where the dock had been. Now the tremor builds, rips like lightning around a 500-mile arc.
In Anchorage, a clock on the floor of a downtown shop marks the time of the disaster, 5:36 p.m. As night falls, Alaskans begin to realize the widespread nature of the devastation. It seems no city has been spared, either by one of several giant waves or by the 5-minute-long quake that preceded them. And the state, for the moment, is cut off from the rest of the world.
At 5:44, the seismic wave hits Seward, exploding the gas tanks, sending people racing for their lives as a wall of fire and water sweeps into town.
In 1964, civil defense was still in its infancy. Emergency communication was primitive by today's standards, so it took hours to get out the word that Alaska had been hit by both an earthquake and a tsunami.
We received this report through the city manager here in Anchorage that both the oil tanks and docks are on fire at Seward.
In south central Alaska, the death toll hit 131. Farther south, 4 children drowned when they were swept from a beach in Oregon. And in Crescent City, California, 12 more people died. It was anything but a Good Friday. It's amazing we still have that footage. In addition to the deaths in Alaska, 4 children died at Beverly Beach State Park on the Oregon coast, and 12 more were killed by a tsunami in Crescent City, California. In today's dollars, property damage in the U.S. was pegged at over $2 billion.